Hey, everybody. Super crazy running around. Sorry I had to do a time change. Things are just a little late today. Things are just, every appointment has like gone over in time. And so just like slowly the day has gotten very backed up. If anybody can relate to that, then please forgive me for having to change the time. So I'm going live today and I have my computer because I have questions on it. So I'm going to answer some questions that have been sent in and that have been coming up a lot lately in terms of nutrition and exercise. I've been getting a handful of reoccurring questions, and I figure that if I have a handful of people asking them to me online and in person, that more people probably have those questions. So we're just going to dive in really quick, and I'm going to keep this up so that I can remember what the questions are. First things first, we are going to talk about some carbohydrates. So I was with a client a couple weeks ago, and I've had a couple clients ask about carbohydrates. So they increased their workout frequency, and as a result, they're like, I'm really hungry. And I'm like, awesome. That usually happens when you increase the frequency in which you're working out. She said that she had also then been eating more carbohydrates, and if that was good. Her question was, I'm hungry because I'm working out more, so I'm eating more carbs. Or is that okay? And yes, so a lot of people, she had reduced her carbohydrates pretty drastically to lose weight, which a lot of people do. And what happens as a result of cutting back your carbohydrate intake is your energy levels also deplete. You may notice a decline in your alertness. You may notice a decline in your energy for your workouts and overall sluggishness. So I advised her to increase her carbohydrates back up, and she came back and said, oh my God, this is amazing. I have so much energy and my workouts are so much better. And I was like, well, that's carbohydrates for you. And she was like, really? And when I got to talking with her, I realized just how much lack of awareness a lot of people have about carbohydrates and their significance in terms of our energy outputs for our workouts. So that's why I wanted to talk about it briefly today. So carbohydrates are an essential part of energy and fuel for our workouts. So when we drastically reduce them or try to go on a low carb diet, we're going to notice a decrease in our energy levels, and we're going to also notice a decrease in the quality of our workouts likely. And our overall energy, we're just going to be tired and sluggish. And when you start working out more, you're going to be firing up the metabolism. Your hunger is going to increase. And as a result, you do want to feed that with a fair amount of carbohydrates. You don't want to go overboard and just eat everything in sight because you're hungry. But you do need to replenish those energy and fuel systems through complex carbohydrates, so good carbs, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, not a lot of white or starchy carbs or anything like that. That's why I can't see this, because it was dimmed, so it was making reading the questions very hard. This is going to be an interesting live, so if shit goes down, I'm calling it now. If something falls over or if I lose you, you know, I see it, I call it coming, because the setup right now is not the way I like it to be, because I rushed in here to get this on air. So carbs, that's a really common question. Yes, you need carbs. Literally, I've been asked, do I need to eat carbs? Or are carbs the reason why I'm so tired? Because I'm not eating enough of them. I'm eating more carbs and I feel more energetic. Is it really because of the carbs? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you need to eat them. Yes, they're going to affect your energy. Yes, they're going to affect your hunger. Yes, they're going to affect your workouts. Period. So don't cut them out. Low carb diets do not work and they are not sustainable. So don't try to do them. Okay. Okay. Next question. Nutrient timing. Okay. I wanted to get a bit more, about this before going live in front of me, and I didn't do it because I ran out of time. So, protein. Okay, I talk about protein all the fucking time. I feel like it's a broken record, and that's not frustration at anybody watching this. That's just frustration in general. So we're going to go over some general recommendations of protein guidelines. Now, here's the thing. I am not a doctor, so do not take this with a, precise pen and then swear by it and refuse to take anyone else's information and live or die by my recommendations. Please don't do that. There was something in the news lately about a woman who did die from a medical condition she had in which she was not able to process proteins through her liver. And it gave protein some bad rap, and I didn't do a ton of reading about it because I've seen those articles a ton of times, and so I'm not going to really talk about it on it too much here. But she had a medical condition that affected the way her body processed protein. Protein did not kill her. Protein is a critical component of your nutrient makeup on a day-to-day basis. I have some people that have been told they need to eat a certain amount of protein by certain nutritionists or people at Vitamin Cottage. When they go to get a protein powder, they're told you should eat this much protein for your body weight. So the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, the dietitians of Canada and America, in the College of Sports Medicine, okay, so the governing bodies of all those places recommend 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, okay? So generally speaking, endurance athletes may be on the lower scale of this sliding scale. Some endurance athletes and coaches are recommended protein all the way down to 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, okay? That is on the lower side of it. Endurance athletes are really trying to stay really lean and not put a lot of mass on so that they can stay aerodynamic, essentially, and more streamlined for their sport on their bike and on their run and on their swim. In general, I like to tell my people that they need to be eating 0.08 to 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight, up to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. 2 grams, the high end of that is going to be people who have very specific bodybuilding goals. So if you are trying to put on size, I have a handful of male athletes that are trying to put on size and get bigger muscles and get bigger bodies. They are on the upper echelon of protein intake, close to 2 grams per kilogram of their body weight. I eat about 80 to 100 grams of protein a day, probably consistently averaging around 80. I know what that looks like. That's 4 palm-sized servings of protein. So 4 pieces of chicken, a piece of salmon, Greek yogurt, and a protein shake. That's pretty much what my day looks like. I do protein shakes on a pretty regular basis because it's a good supplement for me, and I'm comfortable with that. And if you have a hard time getting your protein in, I definitely recommend a protein shake. I use Designer Whey. There's no added sugar. It's 90 calories per shake, 21 grams of protein, very low carb, not a lot of additives, very natural, and I like it. And it agrees with my stomach, and a lot of my female clients like it as well. Men can use it, but it is advertised towards women and marketed by Gabrielle Reese. So that is my staunch on protein. Okay, so when someone comes to me, and this is a thing. If you're working with someone on your fitness and your nutrition, you need to go to them and get this recommendation from them, and then make sure you're comfortable with it. If you need to check with your doctor, check with your doctor. Where we get into trouble is when we go to Vitamin Cottage and the vitamin specialist tells you a recommendation, and then you go to your personal trainer and your personal trainer tells you a recommendation based on their philosophy and their schools of training, and then you're on the internet and there's another recommendation. So you will get 3 conflicting reports. Very likely that's going to happen. You're going to get 3 different recommendations of what you should be eating or what you should not be eating or what number you should be aiming for. So know that that's what's going to happen. If you're looking for recommendations from multiple people or sources, you're going to get different answers every time you look. That's why I work very closely with my clients to understand exactly what their goals are and then give them the recommendation. like I said, Sports Medicine Council says, generally speaking, 1.2 grams to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So in order to do conversions between kilograms and pounds, you're going to take 20 kilograms and multiply it by 2.2, and that's going to be the pounds. So the conversion between pounds and kilograms is 2.2. Years of Olympic weightlifting will do that to anybody. If I can get an amen on that, that's the truth on that. I had no idea how to do conversions until I started weightlifting. So, I was talking to a client, and she's like, look, when it comes down to counting and weighing shit, I'm just not going to do it. And I hear it. I counted, weighed, measured, packaged food for years. Many of us have, which is why we don't do it anymore, because it fucking sucks and it's time consuming. So don't do it. But what we do need to do is pay attention to how much protein we're eating, plain and simple. If you're trying to burn fat and you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to build muscle and you're going to the gym, if we are not giving ourselves the protein to replenish and repair our muscles, we're basically like a rat in a wheel, just spinning circles, just burning the candle at both ends. We're really just doing ourselves a disservice and not maximizing our time and our efforts if we are not going to replenish with the proper nutrients. That's the end all here, okay? This isn't about, me getting you to follow my school of thought in nutrition. This isn't about me telling you this is the way to do it, or that's a bad way, or this is a good way. I don't give a fuck. What this comes down to is if we're going to, I do give a fuck. I didn't mean that. What this comes down to is if you're going to the gym and you're putting in the time and the effort to get to the gym and work out 3-4 days a week, but your nutrition is not in line with that, they can negate each other. You can basically just wash your time in the gym down the drain if your nutrition is shit. If you are not getting enough protein, you're not going to replenish the muscle that you are tearing and breaking down in the gym. The body does have a natural process of doing that without a ton of added animal protein, but branched chain amino acids and amino acids that you do not create on your own and you only get through consumption of food, you've got to get it in somehow. So I'm not saying you have to count and measure your protein. It's super easy. This is 20 grams. So, for breakfast, did you eat 2-3 eggs and a piece of bacon? Okay, there's 20 grams, a decent amount of fat, but whatever. We're just looking at the protein. For midday snack, lunch, you had a huge salad with some chips and some grains and a big piece of salmon. Okay, there's another 20 grams. Mid-afternoon, you want a big bowl of Greek yogurt with some chocolate and fruit. Okay, there's another 20 grams. And then for dinner, you're going to have a steak. Okay, great, 20 grams. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm 120, 125 pounds. That's a good amount of protein for me on a daily basis. I'm solid. And we just need to be more aware of the amount that we're eating. Plain and simple. It's not going to be rocket science, but we also can't just ignore it and think that it's going to get us anywhere if we're not paying attention to it. I realized I was slouching, hunched over. My tripod is too low. Setup is whack today, guys, but it's going to work. Okay, next question. We talked carbs, we talked protein. Those are really big. And then I wanted to talk nutrient timing for your food, for carbs and protein around your workouts. And I want to pull this up in front of me so I tell you the right thing. I just wrote it out. Okay, so the next question I get asked pretty frequently is around exercise nutrition. So when to eat and what to eat prior and post workout. So super simple. Meal timing. We want to look at 20 to 30 grams of protein. For women, it's going to be probably around 20. For men, it's going to be on the higher end of that to 30. 20 to 30 grams of protein, 60 minutes before or after a workout, alongside 20 to 30 grams of carbs. So pre-workout in the morning, I work out in the morning. I usually end up having eggs or a protein shake that has BCAAs in it before I go to the gym. Okay. So then I don't need to eat anything or drink anything else. That's just my pre-workout. I've got branched chain amino acids in my body. I've got protein supplement available for my body to start utilizing, and I have energy. So we're good. Now, if I hadn't had that before my workout, I'm going to do it immediately afterwards and eat it with like a banana. So that is important, especially if you have specific fat loss, muscle gain goals. That nutrient timing is important. And there's a lot of schools of thought on this that say it doesn't fucking matter. And then there are a lot of schools of thought that say it does matter. I'm not saying it's in either. I'm saying we need to consider it. It's not going to make or break, but it needs to be something that we're aware of. So 20 to 30 grams of protein, 60 minutes before or after, within that 60-minute window. Because all we're just trying to do is replenish the stores of energy and glycogen, BCAAs, and electrolytes that we have diminished in our workout to rebuild and repair. We want to just put all of it right back into where it came from and build that muscle back out. And in effect, burn that fat as well. So again, I don't want you obsessing about this, and I know that you won't, because that's not the school of thought that any of y'all really come from, but it needs to be taken into consideration because it is important. And, you know, people like myself, when I've been working out a long time, these are the finer intricacies of nutrition and nutrient timing that does put you ahead of the pack. It is going to help you expedite your results in terms of, it's going to help you maximize. You're going to see more response from your body and your workouts when you pay attention to some of these finer details. And if you don't care about them, then that's fine. Then don't be unsatisfied with the results that you're seeing without paying attention to these things. It's all a choice, and it's all a bit of weighing what our priorities are and what's really important to us. And for me, it's important for me to maximize my time in the gym, which means I'm going to bust my ass in the gym doing really effective workouts. And then I'm going to make sure that my protein and my nutrition supports that workout so that that workout doesn't just get wasted away because my nutrition is not allowing my body to build muscle and repair itself. Okay, so protein was a big question. Carbs, a big question. And this is funny because I got asked this from a couple of clients over the last couple of weeks. And then I ended up having to ask myself this question. And I wrote about this in an email to my list that is going out tomorrow. And I also provided 2 variations of workouts. I provided a workout for people who just want to work out. But then I also provided a workout for someone who may be getting over like a cold and just kind of easing back into it. The workout, both of them are still intense. Full disclosure, I'm never going to send you a workout that's not intense. Otherwise, what are we doing? I mean, you put your intensity level in it for what it is, but it's a hard workout. So I'm sending out both of those workouts tomorrow to my list. You can get on it. I'll add the link in the description of this video. So a handful of my clients emailed me and they're like, Sarah, I'm sick. What do I do? And that's a big question. It's not really flu season or cold season yet, but there has been a lot of stuff going around here in Colorado in the social circle I've been in, and with a lot of the clients. Moms are taking kids back to school. Kids are getting sick. It's the end of summer. A lot of parents are a little run down and they're getting sick. So I have had a lot of clients that have been sick lately. I did get very sick last week and had a fever. I actually now have strep throat. Funny. Steroids and antibiotics. I'm on them right now and I feel great. And I'm also just making sure I get plenty of rest and drinking a lot of fluid, which I don't have any with me. So I'm going to keep breezing through this because I have a huge salad waiting for me in the other room and fluids. So how to decide, ooh, my battery too. My battery's dying and everything is just, this is real life, folks. Okay. So how to decide if you should work out when you're sick. First and foremost, this is always going to be you listening to your body and honoring where you're at. No one workout, missed or made, is going to make or break your results. Okay. So if you miss a workout because you're sick, It's not the end of the world. If you eat shitty for 2 days because you are sick and you can't eat anything else, not the end of the world. Again, we're looking at long-term trajectory of our fitness and our health. And in the grand scheme of things, 1 or 2 workouts, 1 or 2 meals, nothing to worry about. So don't direct your energy there and just keep going forward and think about actionable steps you can do when you are feeling better to get back into a pattern of movement and nutrition that fulfills you. Okay, so here's how I decide, and this is my experiences with illness, as well as my clients' experiences with illness, as well as some really awesome information from precision nutrition with illness. So I waited, so you want to think about when was the last time you had a new symptom occur. So I had a fever on Wednesday, sore throat Wednesday, but nothing new presented itself Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. My fever subsided on Thursday, no new symptoms, no new runny nose, congestion, no new symptoms presented themselves after the onset of symptoms. So for me, I waited 3 days until I went back to the gym. 4 days. Let's see, I worked out Wednesday. I didn't work out Thursday, Friday. Did I work? I didn't work out Saturday. I went back on Sunday. So whatever you want to call that. Is that 3 days or is that 4 days? So the movements that are okay to do when you are sick: walking, swimming, riding a bike, light jogging, yoga, tai chi, anything low impact. And that's, again, if you feel up to it. I was not doing any of this when I had a fever or when I was severely ill. It's generally recommended if you have a fever and you have serious ailments that you do not exercise at all and you just rest. Lay on the couch, sleep, hydrate, and let your body's energy be directed towards healing the illness. When you workout is stress on the body. Okay, so if you're ill, what that does, it's going to redirect the body's immune system and function to repairing and fueling the workout, when what you want to happen when you're ill is the body's main focus needs to be healing the energy. Healing the illness. So we don't want to be confusing our immune systems and asking it to fuel a workout or repair a workout when we're ill. What we want the body doing is focusing on healing the illness. Okay, so if you have a fever, let me look at these other symptoms. All right. Fever, where are you at? If you have fever, joint, muscle pain, headaches, diarrhea, vomiting, increased fever over the span of day 1 to 4. If any of these elements are present and presenting themselves new, you should not be exercising at all. Period. Got it? Okay. If you have a sore throat on day 1, coughing, runny nose, a little congestion, you can do low intensity workout, meaning under 20 to 30 minutes, no heavy weightlifting, no power, no explosion, no sprinting. Okay. Day 2, you have no fever. Day 2, you have no worsening of the coughing, the runny nose. There's no increase in illness on day 2. Then you can increase your activity marginally. So if you worked out 20 minutes a day before, you can go 30 to 40 that day. You want to keep your pulse below 150. Okay. If your fever is increased, if you have any kind of extra symptom popping up, no exercise. Day 3, you've got no new symptom. You have no fever. You have no worsening of your cough or your runny nose or your sore throat. There's nothing that's getting worse on day 3. That's when you can go 40 to 50 minutes of exercise and you can get your heart rate above 150. Okay. If your fever is persistent, this is common sense, and I don't mean that to be discouraging or disrespectful to anyone, but this is common sense. But the reality is that so many of us are really disassociated from our body's signals of telling us that we're sick and that we need to slow down, that we push through a lot of this. And that's not the kind of fitness and lifestyle that I'm going to advocate any of my clients. I get a text from a client and she's like, I'm sick, I'm taking the day. And it's no question. I never go back and say, you need to get to the gym or, work out later regardless. I always tell my clients, do your thing, get plenty of rest. Let me know if you need anything. If you are feeling better, there's a workout posted in the group, meaning if they're just tired and they needed to get some extra sleep and, that evening they feel energized and ready to work out and they are not physically ill, there's a workout in our Facebook coaching group for them to do. But if they've got a fever and they're down and out for the count, the last thing I want a client doing is worrying about a workout. And the last thing I want a client doing is expending their very precious energy reserves on a workout if they are ill. So day 4, from the onset of illness, if nothing has gotten worse and most of your symptoms have improved, day 4, you can return to full, pretty much full exercise. You may want to wait 24 hours and then do a more intense workout. But at 4 days, you can do a normal, moderate intensity, maybe 60 to 70% load of your weight. A 30-minute workout, 30 to 40-minute workout of heavy weightlifting. And then the next day you can go 100% if that's applicable for you. And that's really kind of what I did over the last couple days. So Sunday I did a very short workout, maybe 20 minutes, a lot of body weight, nothing heavy, and just got my heart rate up a little bit. And as soon as it started to get a little tired, I called it. The day after that, I had an awesome workout. I was feeling much more energized. I had plenty of food for 2 days, so I had plenty of caloric energy within me. I had been able to get plenty of sleep. My fever had been down, so I went all out on Sunday, and then I went all out I went all out Monday, and I had a really great workout again today. So I get asked a lot about working out when you're sick. And at the first decision anyone needs to, the first thing anyone needs to consider when making their decision is, how do you feel? At the end of the day, I'm not anybody's mother right now, yet. And I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do. If you want to work out, that's your choice. These are the guidelines I like my clients to try to consider so that they are doing what's best for their body now and long term. There's no point, if you are coming down with an illness, to fight through it for the sake of one workout when you're just going to get laid up and potentially prolong your illness. That's what we're doing when we push through. Pushing through is a crock of shit, and we shouldn't be doing it because we're really just denying ourselves the rest and the recovery that our bodies are craving for. So anyways, I think I went off on enough of a tangent in terms of working out while sick. It's really important though. Like I said, I probably got 3 or 4 texts and messages in the 2 weeks leading up to my own illness from people and clients asking if they should work out. I'm sick, or I'm sick, what workout should I do? How do I get back in the game when I've been sick a couple days? And then it happened to me. Not ironic at all, actually, if you think about it. So I wanted to talk about that. And it's also why I wanted to put the workouts together that I did throughout the past couple of weeks. They're mostly metabolic. There is some strength in there. I wanted to put those workouts together and send them out to people tomorrow. I'm sending them out tomorrow morning. Again, you're going to be able to grab those free workouts via the link in the description of this video. They're fucking awesome workouts. They're super fun. They do involve a little bit of strength training, but the one I did today that I'm sending out is mostly metabolic, done in under half hour, both of them. So I wanted, and I always, strive to make sure that my clients have those resources available to them so that when they have been, knocked out of the game for a couple days because of an illness, they know right away how to get back into it. So, and then also when it comes to protein and carbs, if you have any more questions about them, you can message the video or send me a direct message on the Find Your Strong with Sarah Facebook page, or just go back to the beginning of this video and watch it again. Because the reality is that you need carbs and you need protein, and the timing of both of them do matter to an extent if you are looking to burn fat and build muscle. So my battery's going to die. I have a big ass salad with a bunch of smoked salmon sitting in it in the other room and some liquid, and I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the description, the link to get those free workouts in the video, and we will see you there.